Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parvacharya Astota Sata Sri Srimad Asi Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parvacharya Astota Sata Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Shri Go Nitai Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Govindari Ki Jai. Krishna Balram Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad-gita Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, everyone. Today we'll be reading from chapter 2. This chapter is entitled Contents of the Gita Summarized, and we'll be reading verse 41. So before we recite the verse, I'd just like to mention that this is quite a special verse that we're going to talk about today, sometimes known as the ISKCON verse. Thank you. So, so I feel very special to have this opportunity to speak on this verse. Because as I'm sure most of us are aware, this is the verse that really inspired Srila Prabhupada to begin the big mission of spreading Krishna consciousness, spreading ISKCON right throughout the whole entire world. So, as we might know, Srila Prabhupada, he left India. He aboard a ship, a cargo ship, and he was at a very elderly age. He was 69 years of age, and he had very little money, 40 rupees, and he was all alone, all by himself. And he took this cargo ship and spent 37 nights at sea, all the way to America. And that's how this Krishna consciousness movement started. So for me, when I first came to Krishna consciousness and started to hear about the story of Srila Prabhupada and how this amazing movement started, I was absolutely astonished because, it was just a complete recipe for disaster when you think about it, because he was old, his health was frail, he had no support, he had no real strategy, and many people try to warn him not to go, saying that you're too old, it'll be too cold, you won't have any food to eat, you're a vegetarian, there won't be any vegetarian food for you, all these things. But he was so determined, so fixed to spread the message of Lord Chaitanya right throughout the world. So generally, when people are in their 60s, like Prabhupada was, people are winding down and they're retiring, and most people, they'll be probably sitting in front of the TV with their slippers on, just relaxing, spending most of their final days in that sort of mood. But not Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, he was going deep. He was preparing for this almighty mission that he's about to take on, and he was residing at Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan, and he was just feverishly studying and translating the Srimad Bhagavatam. And it's said that he would only sleep about 3 hours a night in preparing for this. So most people at an elderly age, in their late 60s, they might go out in a caravan, that sort of thing, go out on the weekend, enjoy themselves, their final years of their lives, trying to get as much of it out as they can. But not Srila Prabhupada. He wasn't boarding a caravan, he was boarding a cargo ship headed for the US from India. And all he had was a trunk of Srimad Bhagavatams and 40 rupees in his pocket. So also when people get late in their age, in their 60s, their health starts to decline. They might suffer from such things as a heart attack. And when people have a heart attack, naturally, you get rushed to a hospital. You go into emergency, to get things checked out. But no, not Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada spent 37 nights at sea, and in this treacherous journey across to America, he suffered 2 heart attacks along the way. And when he arrived to America, what did he do? He didn't go to the hospital. What Srila Prabhupada did, he went and sat under a tree in Tompkins Square Park and he chanted Hare Krishna. So that's Srila Prabhupada. He was very determined. So when we read this verse and we go through Prabhupada's purport to this verse, if we listen very carefully, we'll understand, he'll reveal to us the secrets to his success, to this mission. So I'll just start by reciting the verse, and if you'd like to just repeat after me. So the verse is up on the board, so it's verse number 41, chapter 2. Vyavasai atmika buddhya ekeha kurunandana bahu sakahi anantascha buddhayo vivasai inam vyavasai atmika buddhya eke akurunandana bahu sakahi anantascha buddhayo vyavasayat inam vyavasayatmika buddhya ekeha kurunandana bahu sakahi anantascha buddhayo vyavasayanam. Ekeha kurunandana bahu sakahi anandascha buddhayo vyavasayanam. Vyavasayatmika buddhya ekeha kurunandana bahu sakahinandascha buddhyo vyavasayanam. Vyavasayatmika buddhya ekeha kurunandana sakahinandascha buddhayo vyavasayanam. We'll do the word for word. Or is anyone else want to chant? Or we'll do word for word. Vyavasai atmika, resolute in Krishna consciousness. Buddhya, intelligence. Eka, only one. Iha, in this world. Kurunandana, O beloved child of the Kurus. Bahu Saka, having various branches. He, indeed. Ananta, unlimited. Cha, also. Buddhaya, intelligence. avyavasayanam, of those who are not in Krishna consciousness. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one, O beloved child of the Kurus. The intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. Purport: a strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyavasatmika intelligence. The Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 22.62 states, Srada Sabda Visavasa Kahe Srida Niskaya Krishna Bhakti Kala Sava Kama Kritahaya. Faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. When one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family traditions, humanity, or nationality. Fruitive activities are the engagements of one's reactions from the past good or bad deeds. When one is awake to Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavour for good results in his activities. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute plane, for they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. This state is automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness. The resolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. Vasudeva Savam Iti Sa Mahatma Sudulabha. A person in Krishna consciousness is the rare good soul who knows perfectly that Vasudeva, or Krishna, is the root of all manifested causes. As by watering the root of a tree, one automatically distributes water to the leaves and branches, so by acting in Krishna consciousness, one can render the highest service to everyone, namely self, family, society, country, humanity, etc. If Krishna is satisfied by one's actions, then everyone will be satisfied. Service in Krishna consciousness is, however, best practiced under the able guidance of a spiritual master who is a bona fide representative of Krishna, who knows the nature of the student and who can guide him to act in Krishna consciousness. As such, to be well versed in Krishna consciousness, one has to act firmly and obey the representative of Krishna, and one should accept the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master as one's mission in life. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur instructs us in his famous prayers for the spiritual master as follows: Yasya prasadad bhagavat prasado, yasya prasadad nagitu kutopi, dayam stuvams tasya yasastri samyam, vande guru shri charanaravindam. By satisfaction of the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes satisfied, and by not satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted to the plane of Krishna consciousness. I should therefore meditate and pray for his mercy 3 times a day and offer my respectful obeisances unto him, my spiritual master. The whole process, however, depends on perfect knowledge of the soul beyond the conception of the body, not theoretically, but practically. When there is no longer a chance for sense gratification manifested in fruitive activities, one who is not firmly fixed in mind is diverted by various types of fruitive acts. Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Ganjamanandasya Anjana Shalakaya Chakshuvan Militam Yena Tasma Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yene Bhutale Swayam Rupa Tarati Swapirantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagatam Sahagana Raghunafitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sahutam Parigasaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaganalita Shri Vishakancitamscha He Krishna Kruna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishubhanu Sate Devi Pranamani Hari Pre Vanchakalpatarupascha kripa sindhu evicha patinam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadha Shiva Sari Gaur Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just before I begin, I'd just like to ask for the blessings of all of you that I can say something that's truthful, which is pleasing and beneficial, and best represents Srila Prabhupada's teachings. Okay. So, as most of you have been here, living here for some time, you may have noticed that the grass grows really quickly. You notice? The grass grows so quickly here at New Govardhana in this climate. And it's starting to slow down a little bit, but particularly in the summer months with a bit of rain, it grows very quickly. And what can happen is that the footpaths that we walk on, or just in general, when grass gets long, it's a bit disturbing, it's a bit untidy. Your mind gets a bit disturbed, and you might have to walk through the grass, and the grass might be wet, and you get wet feet, and there could be farmers' friends, and they stick to you, but there could even be long snakes in the grass. So having long grass is not such an ideal situation to live in, especially when that long grass, it covers the paths that we're trying to walk on, the paths that we're trying to take to get to the temple, for example. So when the grass grows so quickly like it does here at New Govardhana, our paths get completely covered over, and then we lose direction of where we're going, and we get completely lost. The grass has covered the paths, and we don't know where we're going. So in the same way in life, we might be going on in our lives from day to day and not realizing, and not sort of recognizing that our consciousness is also perhaps getting covered over. And in our lives, when this happens, our direction in life and where we're heading and what the purpose of what our life is really about becomes lost, and we don't know where we're going, we don't know who we are, we don't know what we're supposed to be doing. So that's where the Bhagavad-gita and also the Srimad Bhagavatam come in, this transcendental literature that can help us to clear the way, give us the knowledge and give us direction as to what we're supposed to be doing in our lives. Just like when I go out in the whippersnipper, I like to whippersnip the grass down so that the people that are walking to the temple, they can get to the temple. So that's very important, this literature, the Bhagavad-gita, is that it helps us, gives us a clear understanding and direction as to where we're going. So there's a very famous saying. It says there's two most important days in your life. Number one is the day that you were born. And number two is the day that you find out why. Why am I here? Why do I exist? What is the purpose of my life? What am I supposed to be doing? And the Bhagavad-gita, which are the words of God, if we listen very carefully and we're very attentive to what Krishna is saying, all becomes revealed. So Arjuna, who's in this situation, he's in the battlefield of life, and he's feeling a little bit like that. He's a little bit covered over, he's a little bit lost, he's a bit confused, he doesn't know what he's meant to be doing with his life. But he knows that he wants to be happy, he knows he wants to be successful. So therefore he's asked Krishna, he's surrendered to Krishna, he wants to know what's the purpose of his life, what is my dharma. So I remember in my life, before becoming a devotee, so many times in my life I was just so confused. I was like, what am I doing with myself? What is the purpose of my existence? So many times I felt like that. And there's this great quote by Steve Jobs. He says, "Every day when I wake up, I ask myself, if today was the last day of my life, would I be doing what I'm doing today? And if the answer is no, too many days in a row, I know I need to change something." So we might also feel this way sometimes in our lives. So Arjuna was in that kind of situation, and we may also feel a little bit that way. And so in the previous verses, just to get us up to speed, Krishna is explaining to Arjuna that you have to know and understand who you are. You have to know your identity, and that you are an eternal spirit soul, and you have a temporary material body which you are living in. So you have basically two identities. You have your spiritual identity and you have your material identity. So therefore, because you have these two identities, you also have a spiritual duty and you have a material duty. So the spiritual duty is your purpose to Krishna, your relationship with him, and so that is called Sanatana Dharma, and everybody has that. In the same way, everyone has a material duty, but everyone's material duty is somewhat different according to their nature, so that is called their swadharma. So most people in the world, they only know about this one dharma, they only know about their material duties, their material responsibilities. I may have some sort of occupation or job in the world, or a family member, I might be a father, or I might be a mother, something like that. But you have to know both. So Krishna is trying to explain that you need to know both, because if you only know the material, then you're missing the whole entire purpose of life. And that is that you have a spiritual duty, and you need to know both, and you need to execute both of these duties side by side. And you need to find a life of integration, a life that's progressive, spiritual and material together. And in that way, you can go towards your ultimate happiness and your ultimate success. So how do we do this? So now Krishna is talking about buddhi yoga. So buddhi means intelligence. So buddhi yoga basically means to act under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is Krishna, or under his representatives. So basically, by practicing devotional service or bhakti yoga with intelligence is buddhi yoga. So you can broadly say there's two classes of people in the world, and number one is the pious people. Those people who are God conscious, they act for God. This is the more intelligent class. And then there is the impious people who are basically just acting for themselves. This is the less intelligent class. These days we get a fair mixture, but broadly speaking, there's two types of people. So the human form is actually very precious. It's a very rare form that we have. It's a great opportunity because we have a higher level of intelligence than other life forms, such as the animals. So the human form is meant to have intelligence, and that intelligence is meant to be inquiring about the absolute truth. As you're supposed to be, or we're meant to be asking questions, like in regards to who am I, who is God, does God exist, what's my relationship with him? So that's intelligence. So Krishna is here in this verse today, and he's speaking to Arjuna, and he's saying, those who on this path are resolute and their aim is one. So this is one type of person. Those people who are on the spiritual path or are practicing Krishna consciousness, devotional service, that's one type of person, and that type of person is said to be resolute. So this word resolute it means that they're determined. The people who are practicing fixed Krishna consciousness, they're very determined people, and they're unwavering, they're one-pointed. They know who they are, they know where they're going, they know how to get there, they're fixed. They have a clear direction in life, and their aim is one. But on the other hand, there's Krishna is saying, the intelligence of those who are irresolute, which is the opposite, obviously, to resolute, is many-branched. So those people who are not in Krishna consciousness, who are not on the spiritual path, their lives are they're feeling a bit uncertain, they're confused, they're hesitant, they don't know which way to go, which path to go in, what direction to take. So that's what it's meant by many-branched. They could go here, there, anywhere, that they don't have a fixed purpose or goal of exactly what they're going towards. So generally that is because of material desires, fruitive activities, as Prabhupada would say. So in chapter 14 of the Bhagavad-gita, it talks all about the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. And those in this material world are predominantly in the lower modes of passion and ignorance. And so this mode of passion that covers the living entity, when you're in the mode of passion, you have these unlimited desires that you want to fulfill. And therefore you have so many different directions in life to try and fulfill these desires. And generally what happens, your life becomes full of anxiety, because you go in this one direction, you want to get this or you want to achieve this, and you get it and you're like, I'm not sure if I really want this anymore. It's not really serving me, maybe I'll try something else. It's sort of like that. But the person who has these material desires and always chasing after sense gratification, they're never satisfied. They'll never become satisfied. Never satisfied until you are in Krishna consciousness and you're serving Krishna. That is the only way that you'll find real peace, real satisfaction in your life. So how do we become resolute in purpose? We want to become resolute in purpose, don't we? That's the idea. We want to be fixed. We want to know where we're going in life. We want to be resolute. So Prabhupada, very first paragraph, straight in, he says, to be resolute in purpose, he says, a strong faith that by in Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyapasatmika intelligence. So Prabhupada is explaining that we need faith. And faith is a beautiful thing because everyone has faith. And it's also mentioned in the 17th chapter of the Bhagavad-gita, the divisions of faith, that faith is natural, it's real, everybody has it according to their nature. So depending on what nature they're acquired, everyone has faith, some kind of faith in something. But you have to understand what the goal is. And so that is why Prabhupada is saying, elevated to the highest perfection of life. So what is the highest perfection of life? What is he talking about? Krishna Prem, love of God. To perform pure devotional service for the satisfaction, for the pleasure of Krishna. That is the highest perfection of life. To achieve that and go back home, back to Godhead, and achieve, to serve Krishna in the spiritual world. So one might ask, okay, that's the perfection of life. But how do we begin? How do we get this bhakti, to be able to get pure bhakti? And it's quite easy. We already have it. We already have bhakti. It's our constitutional position. We are all eternal servants of Krishna. But we've just become, covered over. We've forgotten it. So all it needs is it needs to be awakened. And so bhakti is independent. Bhakti is it awakens naturally, but it needs to be awakened by somebody who has bhakti. So someone who has bhakti, a bhakta can give bhakti to someone else, and then they can start their journey on the path to perfection. So, okay, we understand what the goal is, we understand where we're getting it from, and we all have it. It's very simple. What is the process to achieve that goal? The process is called sadhana bhakti, which is practice. We have to practice. And by this practice, we can build faith. We can build our faith. So Krishna consciousness is very simple. The goal is bhakti. We already have bhakti, and the process is bhakti. So all we have to do is fill our lives with bhakti, devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Simple. What's the difficulty? Prabhupada would say, what's the difficulty? There's no difficulty. What's the difficulty? Easy as that. So we have to understand what the goal of life is. And many people, they don't know what the ultimate goal of life is. But when we have this fixed ultimate purpose, our direction just becomes very easy. We just accept favorable towards that goal, reject what's unfavorable. We're heading towards the goal. And that's why we say, actually, in the morning program when we come to Mangalarti, and at the end of Mangalarti, we say, in order to quickly achieve the desired success, which is exactly. So we come here to Mangalarti and we sing the prayers, and it's such a purifying experience, but we have to remember what the goal is. We always have to remember what it is that we're doing here. We're coming here to practice to love Krishna. And that's what keeps us going, keeps us inspired, that we can achieve this perfection of life by coming to Mangalarti, performing attentive prayers, attentive chanting. So when we come a little bit more convinced in the goal, naturally we start to perform bhakti yoga, we practice bhakti yoga. And along that comes a lot of tapa, a lot of tapasya, isn't it? A lot of austerities. There's a bit of tapasya involved in Krishna consciousness. What are some of the austerities that we have to endure? Chanting, yeah, sitting and trying to meditate for about 2 hours a day. The 4 regulative principles, yes. Getting up early. That's all the ones I've had. And there's one more that I listed. Obedience to the Guru. I didn't have that one, but that's another good one. There's quite a few little... Reading could be another one, possibly, yeah. Fasting, ekadasi, exactly. That's the other one that I had. So there's a bit of tapasya, a bit of tapa. The 4 regulative principles. Yeah, so no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. So, I mean, some people might say this is tapasya. You know, like, if I explain to people that these are the things I do, you know, I wake up 4 a.m. in the morning, I sit and meditate for 2 hours a day, I fast, you know, I follow the 4 regulative principles. People think you're mad, isn't it? You tell people, like, this is what I do in my life, I think you're going crazy. But the thing is, you know, once you start doing these things and you start feeling something, you start feeling amazing, you start feeling a connection. It's like you're mad if you don't do it, isn't it? So Krishna consciousness, it's sort of like being on a plane. I like to use the plane analogy. It's like being on a plane. So if you're on a flight, so you know where you are, you know where you're going. That's basically Krishna consciousness. You know, okay, say you're in Brisbane, you want to fly to Budapest. So you know you're in Budapest, you've got to get to you know you're in Brisbane, you have to get to Budapest. So they say during the flight path that the pilot, he may deviate slightly off the flight path for an average of about 10% of the journey. But do you know what he's doing the whole time? If he deviates off the flight path, do you know what he's doing? He's always correcting himself. He's being corrected. He's bringing himself back. So Krishna consciousness is a bit like that. We know where we're going. We have to stay focused on the path. We have to keep bringing ourselves back. We might get distracted in some ways. We might get disturbed in some ways. But if we keep ourselves fixed on the goal and we keep ourselves fixed on practicing our sadhana, then we can stay focused on the path. And we can reach that destination, because you know what happens pretty much 100% of the time, that aeroplane will reach its destination, no problems. So many people, they don't come to this spiritual path, or they're easily deviated off the path, generally because they're too much absorbed in so many other material things, such as service to the self. They're too absorbed in serving themselves. Family commitments, service to humanity or to nation. But Prabhupada, in regards to this, he says, when one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family, traditions, humanity, or nationality. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute plane. So here Prabhupada is explaining that you just have to serve Krishna, you have to perform Krishna consciousness, and everything else is included. You don't have to make separate endeavors to, serve your nation, serve humanity, serve your family. It's all included under Krishna consciousness. It's like Prabhupada, when he was training his disciples, he would say, you don't have to completely change or stop your life. You just keep doing what you're doing, but do it in Krishna consciousness. So the analogy is given, and the common analogy is just pouring the root of a tree. So there's no need to pour water on the twigs and the leaves and the branches. It's not worth it. You just pour the water on the root of the tree, and therefore the whole tree becomes nourished. So Krishna consciousness is like that. If we just focus on serving Krishna, everyone else becomes pleased. Everyone else becomes satisfied automatically just by pleasing Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is intelligence, and Krishna consciousness, it's all about developing a strong intelligence. And how can we do that? Well, Prabhupada says with knowledge, vidya, knowledge. So we have to spiritualize our intelligence. It'll be explained in a later verse that we have matter, and then a little bit higher than that we have the senses, then a little bit higher than that we have the mind, then a little bit higher than that we have the intelligence, and above the intelligence is the spirit soul. So the idea is that the spirit soul is supposed to be giving knowledge to the intelligence, and the intelligence is supposed to direct the mind and senses, tell the mind and senses what to do, and act in Krishna consciousness. But you know what happened in most people's life, right? It's the other way around. So what happens is the senses, the smell, the touch, the hearing, the seeing. People's senses are just out of control. They see something, they smell something. I just want it. I want to touch that. I want to smell that. I want to see that. And it's just like all over the place. And therefore, people's lives become a bit like that. So when we spiritualize our intelligence, and we do that through knowledge of the Bhagavad-gita, then automatically what happens is because what's happening is that basically we're having this mind-intelligence dialogues going on, and the mind and senses are coming up with things and telling the intelligence, and because if the intelligence is not so strong, then the mind and senses will conquer over the intelligence, and we'll end up all over the place. But if you have a strong intelligence with knowledge of the Bhagavad-gita, then the intelligence will conquer over the mind. That's really powerful. With strong intelligence telling the mind and senses, spiritual intelligence telling the mind and senses what to do. That's very, very powerful. So most people don't have this spiritual intelligence, therefore, it's like they're riding a chariot with 6 horses, and these wild horses are just dragging them here, there, everywhere. So therefore we need to have strong intelligence. So in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad-gita, which is the Yoga of the Supreme, Krishna is explaining that the purpose of knowledge is to know Him. Krishna is knowledge, He's the goal of knowledge, and basically knowledge of Him, you know everything. He also explains that He is seated in your heart. Krishna is in your heart, and He's giving you this knowledge. He's trying to give you this knowledge. But one problem. There's a problem. Can we hear Krishna? Krishna is speaking to us. Can we hear him? He's speaking to us. But we can't hear him. Maybe there's other noises going on within the mind, and we're not properly hearing Krishna. There's one qualification, actually, Krishna says in the Bhagavad-gita. There's one qualification by which you can hear him. Anyone knows what that is? What's the qualification to be able to hear Krishna within the heart? Krishna is in the heart speaking to us, sitting next to us. How can we hear Krishna? It's in the 6th chapter. 6th chapter is known as Dhyana Yoga, which means the mind. In the 6th chapter, Krishna says, for one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached. But who's conquered their mind? Not too many people have conquered their mind. So therefore, Krishna is so kind. For those who are sincere, what he does is give us these scriptures. He gives us the Bhagavad-gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam, by which we can get this knowledge. And therefore we can begin to understand Krishna. But can we understand Krishna simply by study? Not really. We need a teacher. We need a guru. Because it said, Dhamasya tattvam nihitam guyam mahajano yena katasa pantita. It says that the secrets of Dharma and the deepest truths are hidden in the hearts of the great souls, in the pure devotees. So if one is sincere, then Krishna, he'll send us a guru by which we can understand this knowledge. And it's said that these pure devotees, or the guru, is like a cloud. Sometimes a cloud might rain, sometimes it might not rain. So how do we extract this knowledge? How do we get it to rain? How do we be able to extract this knowledge from the heart of the guru? Krishna also gives that. He also gives knowledge as to how to do that. In 434 he says, Tadvidi panipatena paraprishnena sevaya upadekshanti te gyanam gyaninas tattvadashinaha. This is a very, very crucial, very important verse for one who wants to understand spiritual knowledge and who wants to take shelter of a spiritual master. It says, just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively, render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. So I was asking, one day I was asking His Holiness Ramai, Swami Maharaj, what is his favourite verse in the Bhagavad-gita? And he said he didn't have a favourite verse, but he had many favourite verses, but he couldn't pick one out. But what he did reveal to me is he said that this verse 434 is the most, Srila Prabhupada, he said that this was the most important verse in the Bhagavad-gita. And also Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he says to accept a bona fide spiritual master is the most crucial point for advancement in spiritual life. So basically, you have to tick 3 boxes to get this knowledge from within the heart of the Guru. Number 1, pranipatena. You have to be submissive. So you have to surrender to this process of devotional service, chanting Hare Krishna, following the 4 regulative principles. This is intelligence. So the second step, pariprasnana, inquiry. You have to inquire submissively. You have to be humbly asking questions. This is the way we learn things, by humbly asking questions. That's how we learn. The opposite to humility is what? Pride. So when someone is very proud, we might say they're full of it, isn't it? They're full of it. Someone who's very proud, they're full of it. So if someone who's full of it, someone who's very proud, they're full of it and there's no room for any more to come in. They already think they know it all. So that's why we need to be humble. We need to be submissive and humble and asking questions. And therefore we open ourselves up to learn the truth. And number 3, the third thing we need to do is sevaya, selfless service. That's one of the most beautiful things about coming to Krishna consciousness, is that there's so much service that you can do, and anyone can perform any service. It's not like we come to the temple and pray for our daily bread. No, we come to the temple and we get the opportunity to serve God. And that's an amazing opportunity that we have. So this knowledge can be understood through the parampara, which is the disciplic succession coming down from guru to disciple. This is our tradition. So upon understanding the Bhagavad-gita, we should come to realize that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the Supreme Guru. He is the cause of all causes. He's the source of all energies, both material and spiritual. And he exists before the creation, he exists after creation. Basically, he is the absolute truth. There's no truth more superior than Krishna. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's what the Bhagavad-gita, that's by understanding the Bhagavad-gita, we should know this. And so by understanding the Vedas mean knowledge. The Vedas is perfect knowledge coming from Krishna. And it's perfect knowledge, it's original knowledge because it's coming from the perfect and the original person. So in the world today, there's so much knowledge out there, but how do we know which knowledge to trust? How do we know which knowledge is reliable? We can't really, but we can know that we can rely on the knowledge that's coming from Krishna's mouth. And Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's the absolute truth. So, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, basically it picks up from where the Bhagavad-gita left off. And so it's explained that this parampara system, it starts from Krishna, and it's imparting this knowledge from where? He's imparting this knowledge into the heart of Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma, he's the first created being, and he's an ideal disciple and a great example as to how to receive this knowledge. So for those who don't know, Lord Brahma, he was born out of the navel of Lord Vishnu, who's a form of Krishna. So Mahavishnu, he sprouted out of the navel from a lotus stem. So Lord Brahma, he sprouted out of this lotus stem as the first created being. And so he's sitting on this lotus all by himself in a great entire ocean. He's just sitting there on a lotus. And he's completely bewildered, he's confused, he's baffled. You know, you imagine you're the first created being, there's no one else around. You're all by yourself, and you're just sitting on a lotus petal, a lotus flower in the middle of an ocean. This was Lord Brahma's confusion. And so he was wondering, what I was meant to do. And as he was seeking this way, what did he hear? Tapa, tapa. Do austerities, do austerities. So what kind of austerities? Follow the 4 regs, do a codicy, rise early in the morning? No. Deep meditation for 1,000 celestial years. This is pranipat. This is submissiveness. This is the essence of submissiveness. Is that one is patient. Submissiveness means patience. Humility means patience. And it's a very, very rare quality these days that people are patient. People generally, when they want something, they want it now. No time to wait. But one is humble, one is submissive. They understand, they think like, I'm not worthy. I don't have any qualifications, no claim, no expectation. So however long it takes, so we can understand Lord Brahma was humble because he was patient. He submissively followed the instructions to perform austerity, performed the bhakti yoga through meditation. So that's the first box, tick to Lord Brahma, pranipat, submissiveness. So on completion of his austerity, what did he do? The second thing he did was he asked questions. Many, many questions. Therefore, pariprashnena, humble inquiry, asking good questions. Another box ticked. And then right at the end, the final question, what did he ask? The essence of everything, what did he ask? He asked, how can I humbly serve you? How can I serve you? This is the ultimate question one must ask. That is the ultimate mood one must develop, the service mood. Srila Prabhupada, he explained that factually he met his spiritual master only 11 times and he only asked him one question. What was that question? How can I serve you? He may have asked many other questions like, where should I live? But really what he was asking is, where can I live to best serve you? He may have asked his spiritual master, should I live in this ashram, that ashram? But really what he was asking is, which ashram should I live in to best serve you? So tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Lord Brahma ticked all three boxes. He completed the circle. He was submissive. He was asking the right questions. He had a service mood. So this Lord Brahma was demonstrating to us how it should be done. This is the key to opening the heart of the Guru. These are eternal principles and it never changes. So this is Krishna's instruction in the Bhagavad-gita 4:34. And it's revealed by every good disciple in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And if you do these three things, you will get initiation, you will gain entrance, you will get access to the highest truths of the universe. This is what a Tattvadashi, this is what a learned person can give you. So Krishna, he imparted this Vedic knowledge to Lord Brahma. And therefore he inspired and he empowered Lord Brahma to go on. He knew exactly what he needed to do and he went out and he created the whole material world. So Lord Brahma is the first guru. He heard directly from Krishna and this knowledge is coming down from Lord Brahma. So basically, Brahmaji, he touched Krishna's heart. Parampara means this: a good disciple touches the heart of the Guru. So when the disciple, he touches the heart of the Guru, what the Guru does is he opens his heart. He reveals his heart. And then the disciple understands his heart. And what happens then is that his own heart gets filled with that same mood of his Guru. And so then what happens next? This disciple, he matures by practicing bhakti yoga, and eventually he becomes a guru himself. And then when the next good disciple comes along, he touches his heart, then he reveals his heart, and then he's filled with that same mood again. So this is how it works. This is parampara. This is disciplic succession. Parampara, all the way down, guru disciple. The knowledge is getting imparted. Guru disciple, guru disciple. So basically, the duty of a disciple is to be disciplined. Disciple comes from the word discipline. So the disciple needs to please the guru. So if the disciple is able to please the guru will reveal everything. And basically, by doing this, following this process, this is the secret to successful spiritual life. The exact same thing in the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam. Rupa Goswami completely surrendered himself. He was submissive, he had humble inquiry, and he had a service mood. He completely gave his life to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he initiated him, he empowered him, and Rupa Goswami was then able to assist in helping spread this entire Sankirtan movement. Not only that, but he also wrote books on the science of Bhakti Yoga, and also he uncovered or rediscovered Krishna's pastimes places in Vrindavan, which had been lost. So we are known as Rupanugas. We are followers of Rupanuga, means to follow Rupa Goswami. So it's also said that Prabhupada revealed that he once wrote a poem. He wrote a poem for his spiritual master, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, for a Vyasa Puja offering. And when he wrote this beautiful poem, because Prabhupada is quite poetic, he had beautiful words. He wrote this poem, and it's explained that when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur he read this poem, he said, "He has completely understood me. He has understood me completely." So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he had a magazine named that was called The Harmonist. And what he said to the editor, whatever he writes, talking about Prabhupada, he said, whatever he writes, just publish it. Just publish it. Don't even check it. Just publish it. Because he has understood me. He has completely understood my mind and my heart. So that's true of Prabhupada. He completely understood his guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So, by the mercy of the Guru, we get Krishna. By the mercy of Krishna, we get Guru. So if we please the Guru, we'll get Krishna. So therefore, the very first prayer in the morning, we sing a prayer to the Guru. We sing a prayer to the spiritual master. Yasa prasadad Bhagavat prasado, yasa prasada nagiti kutopi, dayam stufams tasya yasasri sandhyam, Bande Guru Shri Charanara. So if we are pleasing the Guru, Krishna becomes pleased. So in today's verse, Krishna is speaking to Arjuna, but not only Arjuna, he's speaking to all of us. And he is urging us to take to this path of devotional service, take to Bhakti Yoga with resolute determination, and make your life a success. And then Prabhupada, in his purport and ultimately in his life and his teachings, he reveals to us what the secret to success is. And that secret to success is to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master who comes in the line of disciplic succession, who is a representative, bona fide representative of Krishna, and to accept his instructions, the instructions of the spiritual master as one's mission in life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, thank you so much. We might have maybe one or two questions, perhaps, if anyone wants to ask anything on what we've discussed.
Thank you for a wonderful class, Prabhu. You really strung some very interesting ideas, building up to some nice conclusions. I was genuinely engaged, and I was making notes because there were some ideas that really grabbed me. One of the ideas that grabbed me first was even in the way that the purport talks about you were quoting, Shada Shabde Vishwas Kahi Sudadanishchai. Faith. He doesn't really say that, and faith is the basis of determination or resolve, but his inclusion right at the beginning would imply that, right? That determination. So anything that rocks our faith, rocks our determination or our resolve. People don't persist all the way through anatta nivritti. They get branched off the path or whatever. So I loved all, but that really all just struck me. I thought you constructed some very interesting ideas. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, faith is very important in Krishna consciousness. I mean, faith is actually the first step. Just to have a little bit of faith. And then by practicing devotional service, that faith builds. But as Prabhu is mentioning, that clearance stage, or the anatta nivritti, is that stage where we're going through that purification. And that's the cleansing stage. We're cleansing the heart. And when we're cleansing heart, just like, if we're cleaning a room, like cleansing the temple or your house or something like that, it may, externally it may look clean, but when you start cleaning, you start looking behind, cupboards or, certain places, you find some dirty things that starts coming up. So it's during that period is that, things come up, you're practicing Krishna consciousness and you're chanting your rounds and these dirty things are coming up, this lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, and all these thoughts are coming up and material desires are coming up and there's all these disturbances and distractions that are trying to take you or pull you away from Krishna. But it's in that moment, those moments that you have to stay strong, you have to stay in association with devotees and stay focused on the path because that's the most difficult part. They say that's the part where most people, they crash out on, that's where they start branching off, as Prabhu was saying. But if we can get through that that stage, and we get to Nista, which is the steady stage, they say it's climbing a mountain. And they say that just getting, the top of the mountain is like Nista, that's steady, that's firm, fixed. That's when, majority of the dirty things have been cleansed away. And when the dirty things have been cleansed away, it becomes easier after that. You know exactly what it is that you have to be doing. And then it's like going down the mountain from that point. But it's just getting to that point of being at Nista, steady, fixed stage of devotional service. That's the hard part that you have to get to. So it's challenging, but if you just have a little bit of determination and just staying in association with devotees, but having faith in the Guru, that's very important. And basically they can pull you along and get you through those challenging times. So yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Yeah.
The other idea that resolve is the fruit of intelligence overriding the mind. So at least I thought that was the connection that you were making.
Yeah, that's right.
Our intelligence has to decide this mental impulse right now, which might be a diversion from the path.
Yeah.
Back in line, mate.
Yeah.
And that's what the intelligence is meant to do.
Exactly.
And I can see that's also interesting, that our resolve is fueled by that kind of conviction. Yeah. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah. So intelligence needs to be strong, and that takes time. It takes a bit of patience. But if you're regularly chanting and if you're regularly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, if you make a vow that you're going to read, I made a vow to my spiritual master that I'd read. He basically, I wouldn't say instructed, but he advised me, you read at least for an hour every single day. And just by reading Srila Prabhupada's books, it strengthens our intelligence. And then when the intelligence is strong and the mind and senses, are telling us, do this, do that, the intelligence just goes boom. Just goes, no, you're not doing that. That's nonsense. So that's where we need to have that strong intelligence. We need to spiritualize our intelligence. And we get that through Srila Prabhupada's teachings, through his books. Yeah.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah, of course.
On the point on the duty, once you water the root of the tree, then every part is nourished. So you mentioned that if you directly serve Krishna, all other duties like duty to family, duty to society, nation is fulfilled, so you don't need to do those duties. I just want to clarify on that, little confused, because in the beginning of my Krishna consciousness, maybe for about 5 years, I was disconnected from my family because I was following that, I was believing that. And then after I reconnected with them, they became really the great support. So now I believe that my duty, my service to them made the connection for them to somehow connect it to Krishna through me. So I just wanna, could you clarify more on that point? What does it mean by you don't need to do other duties? Or if we still need to do the duties, then how much should we do? What is the borderline?
Yeah, so Srila Prabhupada is making this point, and there's a large chunk of the purport he was making this point. And so by watering the root of the tree, which is Krishna, everyone becomes satisfied and pleased. So, it's not that we have material duties and we have spiritual duties, and they're both important. Obviously the spiritual is more important because that's our eternal identity, that's our... but we must do both side by side. So the idea is that, we may have a position such as a daughter or a mother or whatever, or we might have an occupation in the world. And we must do that, but it's the consciousness. You do it in Krishna consciousness. So therefore, Krishna consciousness is included in everything. So if you have like a child, then the understanding is that this is not my child. This is Krishna's. I'm just caretaker of this child. My responsibility is to bring up this child in Krishna consciousness and connect them with Krishna with the best way that I can. And so that's how Krishna consciousness covers everything. Does that make sense? It's kind of like when we were in New Govardhana, Hungary, and there was we went around on the ox cart, and there was that devotee who was talking to us about how he lives there on the farm property, and he manages the bulls, and each day he takes guests for a tour around the farm property on the back of an ox cart. And he was explaining how, he had other ideas of what he wanted to do in Krishna consciousness, but his spiritual master, Shivaram Maharaj, instructed him that you stay here and you perform this duty, this service for the bulls. And so he's there, he's living there, and he has a family, he has a wife, he has children, and he has this service with the bulls, beautiful service, at New Govardhana in Hungary. The bulls are actually used to serve Krishna. They're used to plow the fields. They're there and they create energy or electricity. So there's no electricity there. So the bulls are very important cog in serving Krishna at New Govardhana, Hungary. It's a very important service, but what he was explaining was that he said he's never worked a day, he's never felt like he's worked a day in his life. He feels like he has no material duty because, everything is just like, it's like a hobby. It's just like everything's Krishna consciousness. He's just purely serving for the pleasure of Radha Shyam and for Krishna. And therefore, Krishna consciousness covers everything. Understanding, that your children or your family members, they're spirit souls. You're their daughter, or they're your, mother, father, whatever. But ultimately, they're just spirit souls, and you're with them with some time. And to serve them is to serve them in a way that to give them Krishna consciousness. you perform and perform your duties in a Krishna conscious way. So so it's important to be connected with your family and your friends and everything like that, but doing it in a Krishna conscious way, mindful of Krishna and helping them to becoming closer to Krishna is ultimately what we want to try and do. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the answer.
Thank you. Anything else? Sadhu Prabhu, so nice to see you.
Prabhu, you were mentioning earlier about bhakti is. I'm trying to not use the word inherent to bring up that usual argument or topic. But bhakti is inside us, but we need someone to awaken that bhakti. You were saying. Can you explain, if bhakti is inside us, why do we need someone to awaken that for us?
Well, it's inside of us, but we're so covered over with material consciousness. We've got so many desires, and we've got so many lust, anger, greed, pride, envy. Like, it's just covered over. It's there, but it needs to be sparked. The seed needs to be planted, and that's what the guru, or that's what someone who has bhakti can ignite bhakti in somebody else. Yeah, and that's at least my understanding. Is that?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I was thinking that the Bhakti Lata Bij, exactly what is it that one receives, and exactly when does one receive it?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So my sense is a bij is a seed, it's an opportunity. It's the opportunity to take Shraddha and make it prem through chanting Hare Krishna. But when you make the commitment to the Guru, it's like it's activated the seed all of a sudden. And the awakening of the curiosity, well, that's generally expressed through the Vatma Padashak Guru. So some question comes up, the intelligence kicks into gear, and that's the graceful representative of the Krishna consciousness tradition that Krishna arranged for you to meet and receive your question. So that's the medium of the awakening of Shraddha. Interest, curiosity. We need to explore this more.
Very good, thank you. Yeah, that's good, thank you. Yeah. All right, we might call tonight. Bhagavad-gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
I wasn't trying to steal your thunder. And in fact, you explored facets of that.
That's why I said, I don't know.
So whatever insights you're grabbing in practice, your Guru must be pleased. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga Jai, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga Jai, Gaura Hari. Nitai Gauranga Jai, Gaura. Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Gaura Hari. Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Gaura Hari. Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana, Gaura Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Nitai Gauranga Jai, Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jai, Nitai Gauranga. Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Jaya Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana. Jai Sachinandana, Jaya Sachinandana. Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. So we'll sing the evening arti. If you want to follow the words, we do have the big screen somewhere. But otherwise the yellow laminates give you the words. It's a very beautiful song. It will eventually become the Hare Krishna mantra. Jiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arutika Shobha. Jiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arutika Shobha. Janavitato Pane Jagamana Loha. Iba Dokhine Nitai Janmame Gadadha.
Advaita Rini Vasachatra Karo Jibobosi Achin Gaurachan Ratna Singha Tane Boshi Achin Gaurachan Ratna Singha Arati Korena Brahma Adi Devagane Adi Adi Kori Chamaradhulaya Nara Sanjaya Mukunda Basu Gosadi Gaya Iba Sankha Vadiganto Vadi Vajikartana Madhura Mridanga Pati Paramaratana Shankavadi Gantavadi Madhur Madhur Madhurvadi Shankavadi Gantavadi Madhur Madhur Madhurvadi Shankapate Gantavadi Madhur Madhur Madhurvadi Shankavadi Gantavadi Madhur Madhur Madhurvadi Madhur Madhur Madhurvadi Madhur Madhur Madhurvadi Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Kibabaho Koti Chandradini Vadanayutana Baho Koti Chandradini Vadanayutana Galate se Vanamana Ore Jalomala Iba Shiva Sukha Narada Premi Gada Gada Bhakti Vinoda Deke Gaurara Sampada Jaya Jaya Gaurachane Arutika Shobha Janovitato Vani Jagamana Lobha Gaurange Arutik Shobha Jagat Janmana Lobha Gaurange Arutik Shobha Jagat Janmana Lobha Gaurange Radoti Shobha Jagat Janmana Lobha Gaurange Radoti Shobha Jagat Janmana Lobha Jagat Janmana Lobha Jagat Janmana Lobha Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Putane Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesa Shunyapani Paschatani Sutarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gauranga Jai, Nitai Gauranga Jai Satri Nandana Gaura Hari. Jaya Krishna Balarama, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Krishna Balarama, Jaya Giri Govardhan. Jaya Radha, Govardhan Hari Radha, Govardhan Hari Radhe. Jaya Radha, Govardhan Hari Radha, Govardhan Hari Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Gaunitai ki jai, Shri Radha Govardhan Dhani ki jai, Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai, Giriraj Govardhan Dhani ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlada Radha Rayane. Prahlada Radha Rayane. Hiranyakashi Udvaksaha. Hiranyakashi Udvaksaha. Silatanka Nakalaye. Silatanka Nakalaye. Iton Singha Paraton Singho, Ton Singha, Paraton, Iton Singha, Paraton Singho. Jato Jato Jami Taton Singha.
Jato jato jami tato nrsimha. Vahe nrsimha hridaye nrsimha. Vahe nrsimha hridaye nrsimha. Nrsimhamading saranang prapate. Nrsimhamading saranang prapate. Tava kadakammalabhade nakam advuta sringam Vanita hiranakasipu kanubringam Keshavadita narahari rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Tava Kara Kamala Bhare Tava Kara Kamala Bhare Nakamadvuta Sringam Danita Hiranakasipu Tanubringam Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Tava Kara Kamala Bhare Nakamadvuta Sringam Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.